All right, so we are recording. So again, this is UJ. I had marked this up last night and was really just hoping that price would drop down into this area. We didn't get the pullback that I was looking for. Still kind of made a higher low though, so broke structure and still continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. I kind of just had an idea that this was going to break past this higher low right here point. So if you guys can see, all we're doing is just following market structure. So we have this highest high right here. We have a lower low right there, right? I'm not going to sit here and mark up structure for you guys, but another lower low, lower high, and then we have a lower low again right there. So if you can kind of see, price is making higher highs and higher lows. Price made another higher high right here. And I was looking to enter, but I was asleep because I don't trade any London session anymore. I just need to sleep. It's much better if you guys can be trading when your guys' mind is running on all cylinders. So if you guys are working 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, coming home studying forex, and then staying up another 2-3 hours just to try and trade in New York session. You got to think about what you did that day, like how many decisions you made that day. So the reason that I like trading in New York session is just because my mind is fresh. So I just woke up about 35 minutes ago. I already took a shower. I'm drinking coffee and stuff like that, and haven't really made too many decisions today. So my decision-making process is a lot better than what it would be. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking about doing for UJ right now. So structure has broke even on the 4-hour. So we do have a shift in trends. So now all I'm going to be looking for is for this to pull back and to keep continuing. I think my first take profit is going to be up here. So probably going to be looking for some sort of trade like this. Use a 14 pip stop or a 54 pip take profit. So I'm going to step out to the daily just because this is what I was really looking at. So this structure on the daily is just really, really clean. And you can see that price is making higher high, higher low. Price made this higher high right here. We kind of sidestepped right here. I wouldn't really call this a higher high or higher low because we didn't really get a pullback. And it's kind of just, price just kind of sidestepped a little bit, consolidated, and then continued. And then now we got our pullback. So this is our higher high right here. And this is our higher low. So price is still making higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart. So now we step to the 1-hour chart. Price is making higher highs and higher lows again if you just follow this market structure. So now what I'm going to be looking to do is enter on the next higher low somewhere down in this area. So I'm going to set an alert on TradingView for when price pulls back. And these alerts are huge too. So I'm kind of like a trader that, I probably spend about, 4 to 6 hours on the charts a week. And, last week I think I caught like 570 pips. So it's not really about quantity, like how much you guys are on the charts. It actually can, hinder you guys because you guys will be on the charts so much and start convincing yourselves that, you're seeing things that you're actually not. So it's kind of just my 2 cents on that. So let's take a look. So this is my forecast for UJ. So uptrend on the daily chart, uptrend on the 1-hour. So once we actually do get a pullback, I'm going to be looking for a pullback on the 15-minute. Once I get that, I'm going to be looking to enter on the higher low on the 15-minute. So price is going to kind of sidestep. Now we're going to get this action on the 15-minute chart. As soon as this level gets broken right there, that'll be my entry. and this will be my stop loss down here. So my entry will be right there, and this is where my stop loss would be. Are you guys following along?
Yes, just taking in the sauce.
Cool. Yep, so let me look at EURJPY. Same thing with this one, except price hasn't really moved for a couple of hours. I think there's some news coming out. Oh, I guess not. There's some US news coming out. So, okay, I think we should be good to go if we're trading any foreign pairs like Euro or GBP or anything like that. So basically when I'm marking up charts, I'm just looking for the cleanest structure on whatever time frame it may be. So right now, structure looks like it's still holding in a downtrend on EURJPY simply because this higher low still has not been broken. So again, if we just follow market structure, price is making higher highs. Well, actually, this is technically higher high and an equal low, and then higher high, higher low, equal high, price broke structure right here. Right, broke, retested, came up. I actually think I was in sells on this a couple days ago or yesterday. Price dropped all the way down. So let me go to the line chart. So it does look like structure is breaking a little bit. But the only reason that makes me nervous is still we have some resistance up in here. Yep. So we're coming back up to make some equal highs. But again, price is making higher highs and higher lows on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm going to step out to the daily. And we are making higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart. So if you look at structure again, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now it looks like we're taking off. So really, really similar to UJ. So if this does keep going up, I'd like to see it break past this resistance. If I do enter, that would be my first take profit. And then my second take profit would be up here, right around 126.46. I'll be looking for entries probably somewhere on the 1 hour and then the 15. So we actually probably could enter this. Let me just see what that looks like. So if we get a pullback on the 15-minute chart, it's probably pulling back on the 5-minute chart right now. Yep. So I'm assuming price is at least going to pull back to this zone right here. Let me use, for the lower time frames, I'm going to use like a maroon color. Cool. So I'm going to step up to the 15, see if it makes sense. There is resistance right there. So I'm just going to get rid of this. So we have resistance right here. We have those wicks. And then even if I pull it over just a little bit, it looks like price is kind of starting to take off. I'd be patient on this one just till we get a little bit more of a pullback. Probably still could enter this with a pretty good risk reward. What I think with like a 9 pip stop loss, 12 pip stop loss on EJ for a take profit of, first take profit at 25. So risk reward of 1 to 2. Again, price is still just going to pull back. I think I'll be looking for a better entry right around 125.23 or 32, and then stop loss just below all these higher lows. So you guys can see what I'm looking at right here. Price is maintaining structure. right here. So higher high, higher low, equal high, higher low, equal high again, higher low, higher high, higher low, equal high, equal low. So price is consolidating. And then on the 15-minute chart, price is making higher highs and higher lows. On the 1 hour chart, it looks like price is kind of consolidating a little bit. So that's one thing that I would be careful about, is that price is just consolidating. I don't really like to enter in consolidation. However, we are in an uptrend on the 4 hour and the daily as well too. So my confirmations would be, making higher highs on the daily, making higher highs and higher lows on the 1 hour, making higher highs and higher lows on the 15-minute, and then even the 5-minute. Right? So everything's in confluence with each other. Nothing's counter trending. So essentially all we're doing is just trying to catch momentum and, give ourselves the best risk reward ratios. That is my 2 cents on EURJPY. And then GBPJPY, looks like this is finally breaking out. I had this marked up from last night, except this is just really messy. So I'm gonna try and find a time frame where structure actually looks decent. All right, so we are in a short-term downtrend. We're in consolidation on the daily, right? We're not really making any, I guess you could call that a higher high and a higher low, because price broke structure. Really all we're doing is just following trends. So lower low right here, just coming off of these highs. So lower low, lower high, lower low, higher low, or higher high, and then higher low right here. So technically we are in an uptrend on GJ. And if I, zoom out, you can see the trend that we're in. You guys following along? Cool. So it looks like we found 4-hour support just off of this zone in here. And that's actually what had started this whole push. The one thing that I'm just going to be careful about with GJ is we are, coming up to resistance here. So the risk reward ratio on GJ isn't really there. So if we enter this, could be looking at, something. Yeah, see our stop loss would have to be all the way down here. So this GJ isn't really making sense. So I'm just going to be patient on that one. Still waiting on a pullback on UJ. And then EJ still looks like it's pulling back. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just enter this on EURJPY. So every time before I trade, I always, predefine my risk. So what I'm gonna do is, let's say you have like a $500 account, and I never risk any more than 5% of my account. If I'm really confident in the trade, I'll risk maybe like 5 or 6, maybe. But this just keeps your losses really small. You always want to make sure that your losses are way, way smaller than your profits. So a lot of misconceptions that people have is that, the really, really phenomenal traders are, trading with a strategy that's winning 80% of the time, 90% of the time, 100% of the time. That's simply not true. If you got a chance to actually look at their portfolios, they're taking on $100 account, I'm just going to make math simple. So they're taking maybe like $1 loss, but they'll win, $5 or $6, and then they'll have like a 50-cent loss or a 40-cent loss, and they'll have like a $7 or $7 profit, you know. And so just right there, I mean, you're doing 13% of your account just on 2 trades. I did, I think, like 20% of my account last week just on 4 trades, 4 different trades split up into different trades. So right here, I'm going to just, so account size 3%. Our stop loss, it looks like our stop loss is 13 pips. And let me go to a currency pair. Right, so now I'm predefining our risk. So it looks like we can drop, you know, 0.13, still only risking 3% of our account. So I'm going to find my phone. So it looks like price has wanted to take off on EURJPY. We'll see if we can get into this. Cool. So the risk reward ratio is there, at least for our first take profit. So it's 1 to 2 risk reward ratio for our first take profit, and then it's going to be looking like, you know, a 1 to 6 risk reward ratio for our second take profit. So stop loss, I would say 125.23. Then our take profit at 125.6. Sorry guys, I'm just entering these trades right now. Typically I like to split up my orders too. So you'll see on this one that we could, you know, if we had $1,000 account, risking 14 pips, 3% of our account, we're risking $30, but we can use a bigger lot size. So we're using a 0.23. I like to split this up. So maybe I'll drop like, you know, 4 different orders of 0.05s or 5 different orders of 0.05s. And so what that does is it lets you partial out your trades. And so as your trades are getting to your take profits, you guys can start taking, you know, some early profits, at least to secure the bag. So always good to just make sure that you're, you know, taking profits if you're in profit. So yeah. And these trades are starting to go into profit. Cool. Cool. I got my trades. So I'm just going to let those run. Oh, yeah. Looks like we entered that at a good time. Price is starting to take off. Price is breaking structure. Hopefully, you guys are getting in this. Cool. So I'm going to look at GBP AUD. So right away, it looks like it's clearly in a downtrend. I'm going to step out to the weekly just to see if we can get a little bit structure. So it's in an uptrend on the weekly chart. It's in a downtrend on the daily chart. We are in consolidation on the 4-hour, and it looks like we are making higher highs and higher lows on the 1-hour chart. So my advice would be to even right here, you could probably enter this trade as well too. I don't really follow this pair, so I don't take that with a grain of salt. Not really sure, exactly what this pair could do because we are also at resistance as well too. So I'm not really sure if the risk reward ratio would make sense. But at least right now, it looks like this pair is just consolidating. So what I would do is probably just go and find another pair to trade. You could probably find a setup in here, but probably not anything that would have a good risk reward ratio. So I'm going to move on to GBP USD. Still, again, looks like we're in some pretty mad consolidation. Not really making any higher highs or higher lows or anything like that. Don't really see anything worth entering in on GBP AUD or GBP USD. Back to Euro. So it looks like it wants to drop down to this 5-minute zone. And head back up. Cool. Are there any pairs that you guys want me to mark up? If there are, would you guys go ahead and drop them in the chat, or you guys can just unmute your mics and let me know. EURJPY. Are you guys in sells or buys? So, okay. Yeah, because that's the first thing that I see is that we're at some pretty really, really strong resistance. Very, very strong resistance. I'm gonna step out to the weekly chart, see what's going on. Consolidation. We'll go to the monthly chart. So it looks like the monthly chart, we have a break and retest, but this candle right here, I'm sure we're gonna see some pretty heavy upside momentum. Carry this probably at least up to these resistance right here over the long term. Short term, it's definitely looking like this is gonna drop, although we are in kind of bullish structure. So if you can see, the price made this higher high, higher low, highest high, and then made a lower low, and then price broke structure, boom, lower high because it's still lower than this high right here, and then actually made a higher low right here. So all I'm doing is just following structure right there, and then now we are at this resistance. So if you would want like a safe entry, if you guys are entered up here, you guys are probably good, but I'd probably be looking somewhere around here to break and retest this. And this is the 30-minute chart. cool. So that would be our first take profit. If we got a break and retest, second take profit down here at 42 pips for a risk reward of 3.4. So I think I definitely would be selling EURJPY, but we are in some pretty heavy consolidation, at least on the 1 hour chart. On the 4 hour chart, price looks like it's pulling back. So higher high, higher low. Found resistance. We're at resistance right now, and we're also at support. So I would have been just a little bit more patient, but I think you're pretty good to sell this currency just because of all this resistance right here. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 taps to resistance right here. So, I mean, we're doing pretty good on that trade. Are there any other pairs that you guys would like me to mark up? Yes, sir. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. That's pretty much how I run New York session. I like New York session because it kind of shakes everything out from London session. And then I typically like to trade maybe like an hour, hour and a half after market open, just because everything, a lot of liquidity starts flowing into the markets, and then you can actually see where the momentum is going during the session. Sorry, still kind of waking up here. So hopefully we'll see if this EURJPY trade takes off. If it doesn't, then we only risked 11 pips. So hopefully if you entered this trade, you only risked 3% of your account. But you guys should only be risking. You guys want your equity curve to slowly be increasing. You don't want it to be looking like it's all over the place. So looking like we're wanting to break out here. So we broke and retested. So if you guys can see this, this is what I was looking for. Came down, tested this support. Now I want to see it break and close above this resistance right here. And this is just minor resistance right here. So EURJPY still has a lot of upward pressure. Just came off of this higher high and higher low. So this should keep continuing up. So we'll keep you guys updated on that one. Sound good? All right. We'll talk to you guys.
Thank you. Take care.